What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks, watching YouTube videos, all on how to increase your net worth, and I just think it's good to just go back to the basics every now and then. And I think Dave Ramsey is a great foundation for the basics of financial management. So we're gonna watch this video, Normal Sucks, It's Time to Be Weird. 400,000 views. Dave Ramsey cracks me up in his rants, so let's dive into it.
Thanks for joining us, America. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. We're glad you're here. The way we teach things on this show, the way we teach things in our classes, the way we teach things when I speak across America, the way we teach things in whatever we do, are based on a series of principles. Because we have discovered that after going broke and losing everything, it made me stop. That was 25 years ago. It made me stop and look at what conventional wisdom says. And I've decided conventional wisdom is an oxymoron. Conventional wisdom makes people typical, average, mediocre, and morons. I don't want to be conventional in anything. I don't want to be typical or average or mediocre in anything. If normal is good, then that's okay, let's be normal. But normal's not good. Normal in America today is 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, according to the Wall Street Journal. Normal in America today is bankruptcies increase almost every single year. Normal in America today is people work their whole lives and retire and say, I sure hope the government, which is well known for its ability to handle money, will take care of me.
Okay, so two things right off the bat. One, working paycheck to paycheck. You can be making $100,000 a year and still work paycheck to paycheck. You can have dual incomes, you making $60,000 a year, your wife making $60,000 a year, you make $120,000 a year combined, and you're still living paycheck to paycheck. So if you want any chance of being able to get ahead, you got to figure out a way to not be living paycheck to paycheck. So that's number one. Number two, living off the government for retirement. I am not including Social Security anywhere in my financial planning. I want to be able to retire on the investments that I'm now making in my 20s, rather than relying on Social Security to give me a monthly paycheck every month. So yeah, when I hit that point that my investments are able to cover my living expenses, I'll probably retire. And then once I hit the age where I can start collecting Social Security, man, it'll be an extra, $1,200, maybe $2,000 a month on top of everything that I've already got. So don't rely on somebody else to take care of you after you're done working.
Normal in America today is the number one cause of divorce in North America is your number one cause of divorce is money fights and money problems. Normal in America today is this stupid butt belief you can't be a student without a student loan. Normal in America today is carrying so many credit cards in your hip pocket that it throws your back out of whack and you have to see a chiropractor. Normal in America today is a car with a payment and no idea that I'm ever going to live without a car payment. Normal in America today is I'm going to buy as much house as I can buy as soon as I can buy it, regardless of how broke I am, and then can't figure out why I'm broke and why this house is a curse to me. Normal in America today is broke, and it sucks. Looking good and no freaking money.
Looking good and no freaking money. When I got my first corporate job, I went from making like $13 an hour to making $55,000 a year. That's a huge jump. I felt like I was rich and I could go out and I could buy a house and I could buy a new car and buy all these things because, man, I got a ton of money now. Luckily, we didn't do that. However, my wife and I did end up buying a house. At that time, it did stretch our budget a little bit, but we knew based on career progression and the fact that we'd have double income, it was less of a risk to go ahead and buy a house when I think we were like 24 is when we bought our house. Now, another thing I'll say, we do have a car payment. We're paying extra on it every month so that hopefully it pays off early. We didn't have a trade-in, so we would have been, paying full value for the vehicle. So we ended up just getting a loan on the car and we're going to pay it off as soon as possible. Dave wouldn't like that.
Big hat, no cattle. That's normal. So don't talk to me about normal. Normal sucks. I don't want to be normal. I don't want you to be normal. And if you ask me questions about how you can be more normal, you're not going to like the answers. Normal does not work. It's not working. And continuing to do the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity, the 12-steppers say. And they're right. That's stupid. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. You don't like where you are, you need to change the recipe.
That sentence right there is why I quit my job to become a real estate agent and jump with both feet into this world of entrepreneurial land. Because when I looked at the next 30 years, I was on this trajectory that wasn't going to change. I was going to continue to be working for a job that I wasn't passionate about, not having the flexibility that I wanted, only being able to take vacation a maximum of 4 weeks per year. And you had to be with the company for 20 years to get to that point. And so personally, for me, I wanted to make a change in the recipe. And so that's what this whole last 3 months have been. We're going to skip ahead just a bit because there's a lot in the middle part of his rant that really doesn't apply to the video. So let's skip ahead.
We always live on less than we make. No matter what we make, we're going to live on less than that. We will adjust the lifestyle till it be under what we make. And these days, substantially under what we make. It would be absurd to try to spend what we make now. What has that resulted in? Over 25 years of living this way, since running my life into the wall like a NASCAR and exploding it up into the stands. What has it resulted in? To live debt-free, to live on a budget, to live on less than you make, to always save, to always give, and to always value quality relationships. What has that resulted in? It's resulted in wealth. And that's the formula for wealth building. So pardon me if I think your little credit card points are stupid. Pardon me if I don't go along with this idea that you want to borrow money to get your education, because I don't think you should be stupid when you're getting your education. Pardon me if I think when you lease your car it makes you look shallow because you're defining yourself by what you drive and you're driving something you can't freaking afford because you didn't pay for it. Pardon me if I figured out how this works and I'm trying to get you to do it for your sake. That's why we're here, people. I'm going to be all up in your business until you change your life.
So Dave's a big anti-debt guy. I mean, he got burned by it when he was young, went under a lot of debt. They wanted to collect on that debt. He couldn't pay it, so he had to go bankrupt. And I think a lot of people will disagree with Dave when it comes to debt, mostly because you can leverage debt to make more money. But it's a really risky place to be. And if you don't have the foundation of managing your money well, you're not going to be in a good place to take on even more debt. So to wrap this all up in a bow, if you are considering purchasing a rental property, but you're still at the point where you're living paycheck to paycheck, probably not a good idea to go and buy a rental property. If you're wanting to buy your first house, but you have no money to put down on the house, and your monthly payment is going to be so high that you're going to be stressed out and you're going to be house poor, then you probably shouldn't buy a house. Coming back to the basics is living on less than you make. It's the same way with nutrition. If you take in more calories than you burn, you're going to get fat. But if you take in less than you burn, you're going to lose weight. So kind of a quick video today, just with all of these like different influences that are constantly berating, at least me, being on the internet. It's always good to go back to a basic video that just says, look, you can still succeed financially with these basic principles. Just spend less than you make. Then once you've got a firm grasp on that, then you can take the next steps and start looking at, okay, now that I've got the savings down, what can I do with it to invest it? And we'll probably talk about that in some future videos. So thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.